How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews, back with yet another review. And, yeah, little old ale time, a little aged old ale time in the form of Conshohocken's Brewings, or Brewing. Shouldn't put an extra S in there if I don't have to. Conshohocken Brewing, their Frosty's Nightmare. It's an old ale, never had it before. Was lucky enough to have a good buddy of mine, Chuck D, or Chucky, or whatever you want to call him. He's actually been on a bunch of reviews of mine. Actually, he was in the first reviews I've ever done. Pops in and out every now and then. He stopped by my place. Today is Christmas Eve. He stopped by my place, dropped the sucker on me, because he knows I'm an old ale junkie. So, dropped it off, and figured I'd enjoy it, so might as well review it. So here we go. As far as what it says in the bottle. Limited release, 2010, Frosty's Nightmare Old Ale, Conshohocken Brewing Company. 10.9% alcohol by volume, and that be that. I mean, if you're going to talk about ghetto labels, it's about as ghetto as they come. White, black lettering. The only graphic really you're getting is the kind of little bicycler down there, and a nice little, really old school ruby reddish kind of wax up top. You have a lot of these new school kind of waxes that are thick and drippy and ostentatious, I guess you would say. It's very old school in styling, so yeah, I actually really dig it. So yeah, let's dive into this sucker, see what she's got. Oh, wax is coming off pretty nicely. Pretty brittle. Year-old old ale. Old ales can go a lot of different directions as far as flavors go. You can get some that are rich and more like barley wine-ish. You can get ones that are more wee heavy-ish. Bit of peat smokiness. Get some of this wax off there so it doesn't fall into my glass because of how I cut it. That does the deed. So, really excited to see what this has to offer. Spot on color for what I want my old ales to look like. Just a really rich, deep golden brownish look. It's a bit darker in the glass when you get it thick, when it's thickness of the liquid in there, but it's got a slight ruby reddish, almost mahogany kind of hue to it. Not really all that unfiltered looking, but it's got a really nice, if you mixed honey with mahogany, dash of orange in there maybe, that's kind of what you're getting color wise. Head had about a half a pinky, 3/4 of pinky. Really nice, just above khaki colored head. Nice creaminess, pretty compact bubbles. I mean, that looks like an old one. You know? So, let's see what she smells like. Huge, earthy, herbal, English style hops in there. I mean, it's almost like it's a tea. That's how earthy and herbal it is. Yeah, and that's really all I'm getting there. I'm not really getting much booze in there. I'm not getting a lot of those dates and figs and caramels that you typically want and covet in your old ales. Just getting a really big, almost like tea-like kind of beer out of here. No real booze whatsoever either. I mean, you're talking about 10.9% alcohol by volume. It is not shy in the booze end. Yeah, probably very, very subtle sugariness in there, like a brown sugar kind of carameliness, but it's very, very subtle. It's all about those super earthy, tea-like kind of hops going on there. So, I mean, she looks like an old ale. She smells pretty timid, pretty mild. But I think I might like it. So we'll see what happens. Cheers. Excuse me. Inhaled while I was drinking there. It had nothing to do with the actual beer itself. Yeah, pretty much exactly what I was getting out of nose is in the mouth. The only difference is the booze is there. So, I'm getting super duper subtle caramel notes in there. Your caramel, your toffee, but a very, very, very subtle, very almost like watered down. But that English hop presence is humongous. I mean, we're talking about, if you told me this is somebody that ventured out and wanted to make an English tea beer, a classic British tea, which would be your black tea and your orange pekoe mix, something like that, and they're like, yeah, we just wanted to make it like an over-the-top kind of tea beer, I'd be like, they accomplished that. Absolutely. As an old ale, not so much. It's good. I like it. Get a little bit more burnt brown sugar in there. Nice bit of, just a bit above medium body. That booziness is in there, or is in there, not isn't. But it's not over the top. It's just nice heat to let you know you're drinking something that has a bit of an ABV on it. And then it's like the bittering of the hop is there in the end, but it's again that super British kind of hop bitteriness, and that you're not getting this palate smacking bitterness, more like this kind of like peppery, kind of spicy, bitter kind of finish on it. So it's a cool beer. It's an interesting beer. An ageable beer. That's the thing, I guess you'd say. This is a 2014 version, so it's already aged what you can assume to be just about a year. I'd like to see this with 5 to 10 years on it. But as that stands now, it's a really welcoming, warming, kind of comfy table old ale, I guess you would say, if there is such a thing. But with that high ABV and, everything else going on in it, you would expect more out of it, basically, what I'm saying. You're talking about 11% old ale, aged for a year. I want more, and I'm just not getting it. I'm just getting that over-the-top kind of super earthy, super herbal English hop, and that's all that really is kind of standing out. Without those very subtle kind of sweet notes involved. So there you go. Let's talk about it. It's one of the better beers I've had as of late, no. Would I buy it again? Yeah, I definitely buy at least one bottle again, if not a couple, to kind of see how they age over time. But it would just be for that experiment. It wouldn't be like, oh my god, this blew my doors off. I need to have this in my house. It's more like, okay, I like it. It's clean. Has that going for it. Clean as hell. And I think it does have some kind of legs as far as longevity goes. But it would be more that, just to see how it would age out, just for experimental purposes. Value and availability. Didn't buy it. It was gifted to me, but I assume it's a brewery kind of only release. I'm assuming an old ale, wax top, something like this, a year old. You're probably looking between $15 to $18 a bottle. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I'm guessing. At that price point, it kind of sucks. And just say if you like what way you like this. If you like tea. If you like Empire Brewing's Two Dragons, which is a amber ale, I believe, brewed with Japanese tea. Much different beer. Would have had a very kind of herbally, earthy tea note to it on purpose, because it was purposely made with tea. If you like that, but you wanted something the bit higher ABV, you'd be into this. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I'm going to drink it. I'm going to enjoy it. It's something fun to sip on, but it just kind of lacks any kind of wow factor, lacks any kind of pop to kind of make me, for lack of a better word, covet it. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed our review. If you did or you didn't, or somewhere in between, please leave a comment in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. If you want to check us out anywhere else on the internet, you can. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Untapped, Massive Beers, and all 4 of those places. And yeah, another review down. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying a nice English old ale right now. And hope to see you next time. Cheers.